ladies and gentlemen, welcome here as we prepare for race number 7 of Season 5 of the NNSCRA Pizza Hut X Series. Getting ready to continue on our race weekend from the Kentucky Speedway. We're under the lights here tonight, getting ready for 41 laps of racing. That's right, 41, not 40, 41. So you got to wonder, will that extra lap come into play into a really exciting finish here tonight at this mile-and-a-half racetrack. Not only is it our 7th race of the season, it's also our last race of the first half of the regular season for the Pizza Hut X Series drivers, that is. They'll be off next week before All-Star race break, so it's the last opportunity for these drivers in the first half of the regular season to try and make their bed to get into this season's playoffs. We've already run 6 races, 6 different race winners. The most recent of them back at Dover last week when Austin LaPlante not only took his first win of the season, but also took over the points lead as well. So we'll keep our eyes on the 7 of LaPlante, who has definitely had some really good momentum here at the beginning of the season. But other drivers that have won as well that are looking pretty to get themselves into the playoffs include Phil Parker, Zach Flickinger, Rob Evans, and N Guenther. Now a big question mark is our pole sitter here tonight, J Gilbert, taking the checkered flag at the season opener at Daytona. He did manage to finish somewhat decently back at Dover. He's now moved his way up into the 30th position in points, but he spent about 2 races heading into both Dover and the week before that at Atlanta outside the top 30 in point. You must be in the top 30 in the standings for that win to count towards a playoff spot. So Gilbert trying to continue his climb back up into the top 30 in standings and keep himself away from that elimination zone. Maybe if he can get a second win here tonight with good starting track position, that might be able to be something he could do heading into the second half of the regular season.
Drivers, start your engines!
And we've gotten the command as well, so we are getting set to go here. Let's give you your top 10. The point standings coming to this race, presented by J Shelly Insurance. LaPlante, as we mentioned, our winner last week, jumps to the points lead. He has 14 points in hand over other former winner Phil Parker. Zach Flickinger, our winner from Arizona, he's third in standings, 18 points out. Then Daniel Olson and Charles Jackson, that is your top 5. Rob Evans, who right now finds himself tied with Andrew Davis, who starts on the outside of the front row for the rookie points lead. Evans 6th in the points. N Guenther, our winner from Phoenix, in 7th. 8th is Mason Wood, Alexander Rowe 9th, and Diego Yepez, 2-time winner last year. He is 10th in the standings coming into this race, looking for his first win of this season. So who will add their name to the list, or will we see one of our 6 previous race winners go to victory lane for a second time? In all 3 series so far, we are yet to have a repeat winner. A chance here with Gilbert starting on the pole, trying to get his second win of the season, a former Pizza Hut X Series champion. He'll have co-rookie points leader Andrew Davis to his outside, and they will lead this 42-car field down to the green flag. We're underway here at Kentucky. Let's roll. Wide already. That didn't take long. All the way through the field, and we may have a battle for the lead. That's J Jefferson in the 05. Whoa! That was a car out of shape back there. That was the 69 of Alexander Rowe. And how about Flying Aces Racing last couple of races? John Art won the Hershey's Cup Series race last week at Dover. J.J. Roberts won the truck race here last night, and now J Jefferson trying to make it 3 in a row for events of a Flying Aces racing car going to victory lane. Heather Gallant has other plans, though. She's going to go to the race lead in the 81. Boy, that was close right there. Mason Wood tucking up in front of J Gilbert. Gilbert letting him in, and now he'll dive to the inside as they'll go 3 wide again. They're 3 wide, 2 rows deep, and the caution flag is out for the first time here tonight. Gallant's going to lead us here under this yellow flag, and ooh, I don't like this. They are 3 wide, almost 4 wide going into turn 1. Hopefully they will settle that out. But the caution is out here very early at Kentucky. I don't see like a whole bunch of drivers missing from the pack. Got a set of skid marks up there on the outside wall of turn 3, maybe 2 sets. And unfortunately, though, I do think I saw some black smoke lingering in the middle of turns 3 and 4, which means someone is probably going to be out of this race. And Patrick Curtis sits on the pit lane in the 48. What a struggling start to the season it has been for the driver that was running really well last season in the Coors Light Truck Series and now comes up to the Pizza Deck Series, and it has just not been his year, as we've got some drivers hitting pit road. Jake Rogers, Garrett Sydnor, and Ryan George. They've all got some damage. Left side damage on George and Sydnor. Looks like some front end damage on the 12 of Jake Rogers. Sydnor 19th in points, Rogers 18th in points. Ryan George struggling this year. Finds himself 41st in the point standings. So it looks like 4 cars at most were involved in this wreck. Well, I say at most as I see some right side damage on the 95 of Juan Garcia, but he didn't bring his car to pit road. So we're under the yellow flag for the first time here tonight. Heather Gallant, 2-time winner last season in the Truck Series, leads the way here tonight at Kentucky. Now, I'm aware the wreck took place in 3 and 4, but we're looking here in 1 and 2 because this is how this all developed. Watch there. They were 4 wide with George, Rogers, Curtis, and Sydnor. Now, watch this. Curtis is going to go to the inside of Joshua Hyatt, who's to the inside of Andrew Davis. And yes, you are hearing these words correctly. They were 5 wide at Kentucky. And how they didn't wreck out of turn 2, I don't know. But then watch this. They're just fighting for real estate down the back straightaway. Already there's contact between the 12 of Rogers, the 48 of Curtis. Ryan George isn't exactly giving anybody a lot of room as he's kind of running up in the second lane of the back straightaway. There was plenty of room further down. You still see them shoving there, the 4, the 12, and the 48. And then Sydnor's on the outside of this then 4 wide, and that's where they all make contact. All of them slide up into the wall. Wow, that was the whole front bumper of Patrick Curtis's car ripping off. He might have actually hit that transition where the safer barrier juts out, and it might have just ripped the whole front of his machine off. And there was also a little bit of contact there as well for the 29 of Mark Davidson. I don't know how significant of contact that was, but he made a little contact with the front of his machine. Now we're going to rewind this real quickly, go back here, and look from the TV2 camera just to watch the 48. Okay, watch the 48 car. Watch the front. You're going to see down the bottom of your screen where the safer barrier begins, where it juts out. And I think we're going to see the 48 is going to hit that very area right here, heading for it, and right there, yep, and there you see it just rips the whole front end of the 48 car off. My goodness. Worst place you could end up hitting into the wall at these kind of tracks with the safer barrier is where the safer barrier begins. So Sydnor, Curtis, Rogers, and George involved in our first caution of the day after they were 5 wide here at Kentucky. Getting ready to go back green flag racing here. Lights are out atop the pace car. Heather Gallant, the race leader, over Elijah Gilbert. K Batson now in 3rd. Mason Wood 4th. Ian Canario 5th. And it's J Jefferson, Joshua Hyatt, Andrew Davis, Alex Gray, and Phil Parker. That is your top 10. After the wreck, surprisingly only 1 car out of the race. Patrick Curtis will finish 42nd. Rogers, Sydnor, and George made repairs to their race cars, returned back to the track. Don't know how up to speed they'll be. But 41 of our original 42 cars are still running and on the lead lap. So Heather Gallant was able to get around Elijah Gilbert and lead them to the caution. Now we're going to have to see how she does here on the restart. Heather Gallant, a lot of experience in the Coors Light Truck Series, 2-time winner last season and was in the playoffs for that series. And trying to join Rob Evans and N Guenther as a rookie winner this season. Green flag back in the air here on lap number 7. Here comes K Batson in the 22. I'm kind of almost looking at that 22 car just based off of the Cinderella story season we had last year with the defending champion Cody Lamas. Remember, Cody, back in season 5, lost his charter, was sent down to the Pizza Hut X Series, battled to win the championship, moved back up to the Hershey's Cup Series this season. Well, K Batson, almost kind of the same situation. Lost her charter last year, down here in the Pizza Hut X Series, and now trying to battle her way back up to a Hershey's Cup Series rides. They're 4 wide back there. Is that Chloe Ericsson on the bottom? Yes, it is. On the bottom, and I believe that was J Gilbert way up topside. K Batson, rookie stripes. Andrew Davis, rookie stripes. Then you got a couple of veterans battling for third. Joshua Hyatt to the inside of Alex Gray. Big run for Andrew Davis. He's going to make the move for the race lead. Michael Norman Motorsports already with a win this season, courtesy of Austin LaPlante last week at Dover. LaPlante, actually, the points leader, is working his way up to the front. It's right there behind that bright orange car of Chloe Ericsson. He just crossed the line last time by in the 5th position. And I think the caution's out again. It is second time tonight that the caution flag waves. We've had some good action all the way through the field. They've been 3 wide and 4 wide, and I think that's why they're running into problems, as they're going to drag race to the line here between Davis and Batson. Which line's going to win out? Batson tries to get up in front of Davis, and she will get him at the line. Just barely. Had smoke there on the start-finish line, and we got a couple of cars that are still wrecking down here in turn 1. Jessica Miles was one of them, and Charles Jackson, 5th in the standings, also was collected. And I don't know if they were the initial cause of the wreck or if that was a follow-up wreck or not. We will certainly be finding out, however. And so, under our second caution, now we're going to see the leaders hit pit road, which says to me this is probably the pit stop they needed to make it the rest of the way on fuel. So we may not end up seeing them have to hit pit lane for the remainder of the night. There's the 25 of Jessica Miles sitting on pit road. Miles coming into this race 25th in points, former Pizza Hut X Series winner from last season. Now let's see what the strategy is going to be here. I mean, I would think they're going to have to get the car full of fuel, but we've only run, what? Maybe 7 laps under green? If that? So they're not going to have to spend as long on pit road, I don't think, filling it full of fuel, but it will be a 4-tire stop for just about everybody. K Batson's going to win the race off of pit road. LaPlante right now looks like he would come out in second unless the 5 beats him out of the pit lane, which he will do so. So it will be Batson, then Davis, and it looked like it was Austin LaPlante and Chloe Ericsson will be the top 4 coming off the pit lane. As K Batson's team gets it done, first on, first off pit road. She'll be our leader when we go back green. Let's see what brought out our second caution of the evening. And it actually was Jessica Miles and Charles Jackson that brought out the caution, and then they had a follow-up wreck, I guess, down to turn 1. We'll follow that as well. Coming off the corner, let's see where the initial contact begins. Watch the top side there. Yeah, I think Charles Jackson got a little help from the 09 of Sky Commons. Shoots him down into the right rear quarter panel of Jessica Miles, and then both those cars drift back up the racetrack. And, ooh, Matt McIntyre, man, what an avoidance by him and N Guenther. And nowhere for the rookie Juan Garcia to go. He gets it in the front, courtesy of Miles. He gets it in the driver's side door, courtesy of Jackson. Everybody else is going to be able to get to the inside, I think, to be able to avoid. That's one of the good things about Kentucky. Very spacious, a lot of room to maneuver if there's a wreck, although right there I'm surprised more drivers didn't get swept up into that wreck. I mean, probably by all rights, Matt McIntyre and N Guenther should have been collected in that wreck, and they were able to slow up and not get involved. Now, I'm a little curious what happens down here in turn 1, because this was the wreck, and then we saw the 25 and the 78, something was going on with them down here in the turn 1 area, and I'm really going to be interested to find out about this. Both leave the scene of the accident. Now, I don't know if maybe Miles didn't realize Jackson got turned by Commons. And okay, they're going to start door banging each other. Now they're side by side. This could be a little bit of a rivalry brewing here in the Pizza Hut X Series. The thing I'm looking for here, though, is the 25 had to teleport to pit road. Right now, her car is under power. So what does she end up hitting that then sends her to pit road? Do they make contact with each other and hit like there's like a pit wall down here? Do they hit that? And Miles turns left into Jackson. They'll go across the Z-Max logo. Oh no, rest in peace, cone. Oh, they took out the cone. Yeah, and then Jessica Miles is going to put Charles Jackson into the wall down here. Oh my goodness, and then flips herself over because of it. And that's why she had to teleport to pit road. Damaged enough as it was, then goes for a barrel roll down here into turn 1. Well, I think this definitely could be the start of a rivalry between the 78 and the 25. I don't think that Jessica Miles realized that Charles Jackson got hooked. And in essence, Jessica Miles just took herself out of this race too. I don't know if she would have been able to continue or not, but after that flip, she's definitely out of the race. And that's our second caution of the evening here at Kentucky. Oh, and then a little shot there from Charles Jackson for good measure. Yeah, this is definitely a rivalry. Lap 15 of 41's when the green flag will come back out. K Batson, Andrew Davis, Austin LaPlante, Chloe Ericsson, Joshua Hyatt. That is the top 5. Team that lost some spots up here was the 92. Came in 3rd and restarts now in 5th. Then it's Alex Gray 6th. 7th place is Phil Parker. 8th, J Jefferson, James Shelly 9th, and Heather Gallant back in 10th as the green flag's back in the air. K Batson gets us back underway. After the incident, we've got 2 drivers out of the race. Jessica Miles is 1. The other one, Garrett Sydnor. Now, I don't know why Sydnor's out. Oh, trouble in the back! That's the 62 of Wyatt Quail just got spun straight up into the field. You normally don't see something like that. He must have been on the bottom and got hooked in the right rear or something. Or else he might have had a tire go down, but that was a very unusual wreck. We just saw the tail end of it. Caution's out again, and that's going to be a big wreck off turn 2. You can see the smoke screen that the leaders go through here. And skid marks everywhere. That was really unusual. I mean, normally you're not surprised to see a car spin from right to left, but that car spun from left to right, from the inside to the outside. Unless he had something similar to what we saw with Jackson when he got into Miles, and then Miles shot left to right, but that's the only possibility I can think of. But that was the rookie Wyatt Quail getting spun, and it was right up in front of a host of other drivers. So it's not taking us long to run a lot of cautions here. This is our 3rd yellow flag of the night. K Batson continues to lead. Let's take a look and see what happened. Well, let's take this from turn 1, see how this wreck developed. First car I saw snap out of line was that 62 that we're focused on, the rookie Wyatt Quail out of Full Frontal Motorsports. Oh, watch ahead of them. You see their left side of your screen. There's contact there. That's Canario getting hooked around by J Sandfer and C Friesen. And then, just like I suspected, right there, Elijah Gilbert gets into J Sandfer. She hooks the 62 in the right rear, and right up in front of teammate M Davidson goes Wyatt Quail. And then just watch them all scatter to avoid. Eli Bright got collected. There's J Sandfer, N Guenther. They were wrecking further back there, too. A Navarro in the 07. I think he got into the 45. And look at this. Hudson's in it. Yepez, Deaver, Jackson. I see Flickinger, our Arizona winner. I think Brooke Allen got a piece of it. Carson Gum badly damaged. There's Jake Rogers, Juan Garcia, Andrew Gonzalez. There were a lot of drivers in that one. Everyone just trying to find a lane and hope it opens up. And I want to go back here to the 45 of Canario because I think he got clobbered by the 07. All right, let's watch here real quick. We'll go to where it starts. Yeah. J Sandfer tries to get to his inside. C Friesen's already to the inside of the 70. There was contact right there between the 39 and the 70, and that sent Gene up into Canario's left rear quarter panel. So just drivers fighting for that inside line is what caused that wreck. And then the stack up is what caused the wreck later on out of turn 2. But as the 45 goes up and hits the wall hard, I think he's going to get nailed by the 07 of A Navarro in a moment. There's the Wyatt Quail spinning up in front of traffic. And let's watch here at the tail end of the field. Oh, Carson Gum already had damage prior to this. I don't know where he got his damage from, but there you see right there, Angel Navarro nowhere to go. Just completely clobbers the 45. And that's a couple of teammates right there too. And their other teammates, see right there, forefront, the 55 of Nick Guenther getting caught up in this wreck. So all 4 of the Kev Shear Racing Tech cars have been caught up in something. And what a tough start to the season it has been for Yin Canario. Average place 30th in his first 6 starts of the season, dead last in the points, and it doesn't look like it's getting any better, as it looks like he'll be DNFing here tonight at Kentucky. Well, you would think with these single file restarts we'd have more of a chance of getting some green flag laps in. However, these drivers, even with the single file restarts, are fighting for every bit of ground they can get going into turn 1. And it has resulted in 3 very quick cautions in the first half of this race. Nick Guenther will continue. He is a lap down, scored in 28th, and I believe he's the last car on the track, so 28 cars running, 27 on the lead lap. Out of the race after what we just saw, though, include the following: Jake Rogers, Andrew Gonzalez, Cole Deaver, Zach Flickinger, Ryan George, J Sandfer, Mark Davidson, Wyatt Quail, Eli Bright, Yin Canario, Angel Navarro, and they join G Sydnor, Jessica Miles, and Patrick Curtis in the garage area. Top 10 when we go back to green, it'll be K Batson out in front. Chloe Ericsson's fought her way now up to 2nd. 3rd is Andrew Davis, Joshua Hyatt 4th, 5th Phil Parker. Rest of the top 10 are LaPlante, Jefferson, Gray, Gallant, and Shelly. Two of our former winners up here in the top 10, Parker and LaPlante. They could lock themselves a confirmed spot in the playoffs with their 2nd win of the season here tonight. Still a long ways to go in this one. When we take the green, there's 22 laps remaining in tonight's event. Green flag back in the air. 55 wisely getting down low, trying to get out of the way as the field will enter into turn 1. I'd keep an eye on the 46 of Chloe Ericsson, because she's been steadily working her way up through the field, and these cautions have kind of helped her out too, to be able to get bunched back up and pick up more spots. She's been able to work her way up to 2nd. Now trying to run down K Batson, a couple of Ford Mustangs out in front, and caution waves again. Well, this one wasn't at the front of the field. I didn't see it happen. I'm going to wager a guess, though, it might have been out of turn 2. Well, maybe not. No, it was actually, well, not even on the back straight. Was it over here in 3? Yes, it was. Yep, up there in 3. And oh boy, it's almost in the same area where we had that wreck when they had the 5 wide situation. Did we have another 5 wide battle? Somehow I can't see it happening with them being single file in the restart, but then again, you never know. Who did this one involve? Looks like it might have been the 89 of Quentin Moore. Yeah, he's got left side damage on his machine and right side damage. 27th is where he's currently scored. Came into this race 20th in the points, gained 12 spots after Dover last week. K Batson, though, every lap she leads under caution is 1 less lap she has to lead under green. Let's see what brought out our 4th caution of the night. I think you could chalk this one up to traffic. Nick Guenther in the way. Everybody was wadded up behind him. Gunther's trying to find a way through, and Quentin Moore, I don't know if he got into the 55 or the 55 came up into him, but whatever the case, sends the 89 around off the nose of Rob Evans, our Atlanta winner, and fortunately, though, everybody else was able to avoid. So that one right there, it wasn't like someone put themselves in a terrible situation. It was just drivers trying to get around the slower lap machine of Nick Guenther, and Guenther was having difficulty getting out of the way. Tough break there for Quentin Moore, though. He was in 19th at the time, and now will fade back to last car on the lead lap and also have some damage on his Racing with Jesus Chevy Camaro. Well, we'll line them up, get ready for another restart, as we are now at less than 20 laps to go. And they will not have to deal with lap traffic this time, because the 55 Nick Guenther has taken his car back behind the wall. So he'll retire out of the race in the 28th position. So of our 27 remaining drivers, all still on the lead lap. Up to this point, there's been so much action going on, I haven't had the opportunity to be able to talk about the former winners of this race. There are only 2 former winners of the event, and only one of them are in this field here tonight, because Kentucky only has been on the Pizza Hut X Series schedule in seasons 2 and 4. The season 2 race was won by Colby Jackson. That would be his first of back-to-back wins that year, winning later on that year as well, the following week at Chicagoland. That driver at the time was in the number 33 out of Richard Childress Racing. And then the defending winner of this race, Kentucky, made its second appearance on the schedule last year. And that eventual winner was Charles Jackson. But we saw that he got involved in that wreck with Jessica Miles earlier on, so the likelihood of him winning his second career race at Kentucky in the Pizza Hut X Series, pretty slim. K Batson, though, will bring him down. Green flag back in the air, and C Ericsson was ready. She was going to try and jump to the outside line. Instead, stays in line behind the 22. And we'll see what the 46 will do here. Going out of turn 2 and down to turn 3, Phil Parker was also ready for that green flag. Very quickly got third place away from rookie Andrew Davis. So now with no lap traffic in the way, maybe we can get ourselves into a long green flag run here. I mean, we were able to run pretty well at the beginning of this race until they decided to go 5 wide, and then after that, most of our wrecks have been drivers either not given room down into turn 1 or having to deal with slower traffic. Now we might be able to settle in to run this thing green to the end. Ford, Chevy, and then Chevy, as it was Heather Gallant in 5th, now it's Daniel Olson in 5th, and now it's Alex Gray in 5th, as number of Camaros swapping that 5th position around. Ford starting to enter into the fray there with the 39 of Carter Friesen, who we saw have that contact with J Sandfer and Canario earlier. He's now up in the 6th position. Good run for him. There he is, highest running of the Smart Motorsports Ford Mustangs, as they are 4 wide back here. That was Shelly, Jefferson, Hyatt, and Gallant. And somehow they made it all through. Shelly now cracking the top 5. Matt McIntyre now cracking the top 5 as well. Good run for the Liberty University Chevy Camaro, as he's currently situated in 8th. C Ericsson got kicked out of line. Drops from 2nd now back to 5th. And here comes Phil Parker, the guy who dominated the Memphis race, led all 50 laps. And also a driver that comes into this race 2nd in the points, trying to take the points lead over from LaPlante, who right now is scored somewhere around the 16th position. Alex Gray did have 2nd. Parker back to the inside. This all going on currently behind the 22 of K Batson. Carter Friesen looking low. I thought he was going to make it 3 wide for 2nd. Now he backs off. K Batson comes into this race currently situated down in the cellar of the point standings, 32nd. Certainly could use a win here. And for K Batson to be her first Pizza Hut X Series win, but it'd also be her first win in NNSCRA race since season 3 of the Hershey's Cup Series, when she won road course races at Infineon and Watkins Glen. It's been a long winless streak for K Batson overall in the NNSCRA. So far, she's not really let anybody get to her back bumper, as they've been battling hard for 2nd. But now Alex Gray with a big run here down into turn 3. Will he take a look for the top spot? He's there, but he's not quite able to get to the inside. Now he's looking, and he's going to make it stick. Phil Parker's going to follow him. So Gray will go to the lead. Parker to 2nd. Friesen looking for 3rd now, as Parker tried looking low. Looked like he had thoughts about the lead. Now tucks back in line behind the 0. Alex Gray looking for his first Pizza Hut X Series win. That 0 car went to victory lane back in season 3 of Pizza Hut X Series twice, with Patrick Curtis behind the wheel. Phil Parker with an issue, trying to get around Charles Jackson in that whole outside line move. Batson went to 2nd. Jefferson nearly was able to get 3rd, but now he's battling with Parker for that spot. So now Batson has Alex Gray all to herself. Fortunately, we got through that, didn't have a caution. Talked about Carter Friesen with a good run. His teammate, Sky Commons, up here. And Commons brought out, what was it, the second caution after getting into Charles Jackson? And he's now up here having a good run inside of the top 10. Last time by scored in 7th. Now trying to take 6th place from Matt McIntyre. J Jefferson trying to make it 3 wins in a row in the last 3 events for Flying Aces Racing. He's battling here for 3rd with Carter Friesen, and K Batson hounding the 0 of Alex Gray. It was Gray, the only one that was able to make the move on K Batson for the lead. Now Batson wants to return the favor. Slow car ahead. Carson Gum, last car on the lead lap in 26th, and slows up the leaders on that inside line. Here comes Jefferson. Ooh, K Batson throws the block on the 0-5. Ray's going to get through with the lead, but boy, they're wadded up now all the way back through this field. Phil Parker now side by side for 2nd with J Jefferson. Now Matt McIntyre enters into the fray. Daniel Olson there in the 32. They'll go 3 wide for 3rd. K Batson up the middle. McIntyre on the inside. Outside line, J Jefferson. All this going on behind the 0 of Alex Gray. His 2 teammates have had some pretty struggling runs here tonight. Jessica Miles flipped over in turn 1 out of the race. Patrick Curtis was involved in the first caution of the evening. Stuck in a 5-wide situation and had the whole front end of his car ripped off, courtesy of the safer barrier. So Alex Gray, the remaining hope, if you will, for ML Motorsports, and right now looking good, but K Batson slots back into 2nd. Probably the last car Gray wants to see in his rearview mirror, with about 3.5 laps to go. J Jefferson's got a strong car down to the bottom. 3 wide, now double wide for 3rd, as Phil Parker backs out of that. Batson all over the back bumper of that 0, looking about a groove lower here out of turn 2. K Batson's going to get alongside of Alex Gray heading down into 3. Question is, can she clear him coming off the final corner? Looks like she is clear. She'll slide up in front of him. New leader, the 22. 2 laps to go here at Kentucky. Now Gray with the crossover to the inside. Batson tried to block, couldn't do it. And they'll go side by side again, and this is allowing J Jefferson to enter into this battle. Maybe even Matt McIntyre. Now Gray trying to complete the pass out of 4. Batson going to try and use the outside momentum, maybe to try a crossover here. Down into turn 1. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go. Gray, Batson, Jefferson, McIntyre. You could throw a blanket over the top 4. Here's Batson running that half groove lower again. She's going to get alongside of him coming down the back straightaway. She's alongside the left rear. She'll keep it to the inside. It's going to be a drag race between the 22 and the 0. Can Batson clear him off the corner? Not quite. Gray's going to try and battle back. Come into the line. K Batson by half a car length will pick up the victory. First of her Pizza Hut X Series career and first in 3 seasons overall in the NNSCRA. And I said it before, I'll say it again. Are we reliving the Cody Lamas story? Hershey's Cup Series driver loses charter. Hershey's Cup Series driver goes to Pizza Hut X Series, wins championship, and comes back up to Hershey's Cup Series competition. That could very well be the case. How about that? K Batson, the single car team out of KB Racing Enterprises down here in the Pizza Hut X Series, bests the field and gets her first win of her Pizza Hut X Series career in only her 7th Pizza Hut X Series start. And this will certainly help her in the point stands as well. 32nd points coming to this race. Now the goal for that team just to be consistent, because that win could help her join LaPlante, Evans, Flickinger, Guenther, and Parker as well as Elijah Gilbert as a contender in this season's playoffs. Becomes the third rookie to go to victory lane this season, joining Guenther and Evans. And I believe we've had it, veteran, rookie, veteran, rookie, veteran, rookie. No, said that wrong. What have we had? We've had veteran at Daytona, rookie at Phoenix, veteran at Arizona, veteran at Memphis, rookie at Atlanta, veteran at Dover, and now rookie here at Kentucky. Alex Gray so close to his first career win in the Pizza Hut X Series. 8 100ths short. Well, actually closer to 9 100ths, really, of getting that victory. Has to settle for second. J Jefferson, a great run there in third, though. Matt McIntyre, fourth. How about the teammates there? Phil Parker and Daniel Olson, fifth and sixth. Phil Parker... no, I don't think he finished 14 spots ahead of LaPlante. LaPlante was 15th, so LaPlante might still have the points lead, but Parker certainly closed it up. Sky Commons, great run for him there in 7th with his teammate Carter Friesen, 7th and 8th for those Smart Motorsports cars. Andrew Davis will finish the day out in 9th, and Chloe Ericsson will complete the top 10. Heather Gallant led some laps, finishes 11th. James Shelly finishes 12th. Mason Wood, 13th. A Baranauskas in 14th, and Austin LaPlante, who I believe will still keep the points lead, finishes in 15th. Joshua Hyatt was 16th. Elijah Gilbert continues to try and climb his way out of the top 30 in point standing slump. He finishes 17th. Kyle Langeland 18th. Alexander Rowe 19th. Rob Evans in 20th. And the rest of the cars that finished this race on the lead lap were Quentin Moore 21st, Nathan Hudson 22nd, Diego Yepez in 23rd, and Juan Garcia in 24th. Those two were really close to going a lap down if we had maybe had one more lap scheduled distance. 3 cars finished off the lead lap: Brooke Allen, Carson Gum, and Charles Jackson. And everybody else finished out of the race, as you can see, all the way on down, including a couple of our former winners this season, Nick Guenther and Zach Flickinger. So we'll have to see how that affects those two drivers in particular in where they would be situated in the point standings heading into our second half of the regular season. Because that's right, the second half of the regular season for the Pizza Hut X Series drivers is over. We will then see them begin what we dub the chase towards the chase for the championship after the All-Star race break. But right now we've got K Batson, Austin LaPlante, Phil Parker, Zach Flickinger, Rob Evans, Nick Guenther, and Elijah Gilbert as possible contenders to get into the playoffs. Right now, as things would stand, 7 of the 12 playoff spots are currently filled up. Where would the other 5 go? We'll have to find out when we have our second half of the regular season after the All-Star race break. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race, though, from Kentucky. If you did, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We've shown you your full finisher results. These are your rookie point standings and your overall point standings heading into our next Pizza Hut X Series race, which will be at Charlotte in a few weeks. We finish up our Kentucky race weekend with the Hershey's Cup Series race here tomorrow night, and then next week it's only trucks and Hershey's at the dirt track Springfield Mile before we have our All-Star race weekend from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. But until then, I've been Seth Cole. You've been watching production of the SRA Offline Racing at its best. K Batson career win number 1 in the Pizza Hut X Series takes place here tonight at Kentucky.